Did you know that age 59 and a half is the most powerful financial milestone in the years before retirement? Not 62, not 65, 59 and a half. I've talked to hundreds of retirees, and this is the one thing almost all of them wish they'd known sooner. Because at 59 and a half, a door opens inside your retirement accounts that most people either walk right past or stumble through completely unprepared. And here's what's scary. The decisions you make in that window can mean the difference between tens of thousands of dollars in your pocket or handed straight to the IRS. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what that door is, why it matters, and the simple steps to make sure you're ready when it opens. Let's start with the most important thing 59 and a half unlocks. And once you hear this, you'll understand why this age matters so much. Before age 59 and a half, if you reach into your 401k, your IRA, or your 403b and pull money out, the IRS hits you with a 10% early withdrawal penalty, on top of the income taxes you already owe. That means if you pull out $50,000, you could lose $5,000 right off the top, before you've even paid a dollar in taxes. At 59 and a half, that penalty disappears. Gone. You can take distributions from those accounts whenever you want, for whatever you want, with no early withdrawal fee. Now, and this is important, that doesn't mean the money is tax-free. Unless you're pulling from a Roth account, you still owe income taxes on those withdrawals. We'll talk more about Roth accounts in just a minute, because that's where one of the biggest opportunities lives. But the penalty going away? That's a meaningful shift in how much control you have over your own money. And most people don't plan for it at all. Here's where it gets really interesting, and this is the strategy that surprises people the most when I explain it. If you retire before you start collecting Social Security, something happens to your income. It drops, sometimes significantly. And for a lot of retirees, that lower income actually puts them in a lower tax bracket than they've been in for decades. That gap between when you retire and when Social Security kicks in is what financial planners call the Roth conversion window, and it's one of the most powerful tax planning opportunities most people never use. Here's how it works. You take money from your traditional IRA or 401k, where you got a tax deduction when you put it in, and you convert it into a Roth IRA. You pay taxes on that money now at your lower current rate. And from that point forward, the money grows tax-free. Withdrawals in retirement are tax-free. And Roth accounts have no required minimum distributions, which I'll explain in a moment. The strategy is simple. Use those low-income years before Social Security to move as much money as makes sense into a Roth, paying a smaller tax bill now to avoid a much larger one later. Stick with me, because the next item connects directly to this. Now let's talk about something that most people in their late 50s and early 60s are completely unaware of, and it could mean thousands of extra dollars in your retirement accounts. You've probably heard that once you turn 50, you're allowed to contribute more to your retirement accounts than younger workers. It's called a catch-up contribution. For 401ks, that extra amount is $7,500 per year on top of the standard limit. For IRAs, it's an additional $1,000. But here's something newer that a lot of people don't know about yet. Under recent changes to retirement law, called Secure 2.0, there's now what's being called a super catch-up contribution for people ages 60 through 63. If you fall in that window, you can contribute an extra $11,250 to your 401k instead of the standard $7,500. One thing to know, your employer's plan has to opt into this feature. Not every plan offers it yet, so it's worth checking with your HR department or plan administrator to see if it's available to you. But that's a significant difference. And if you're in your late 50s right now, you need to know this window is coming so you can plan for it. The message here is simple. The years around 59 and a half are not the time to slow down your savings. They may actually be the most important years to accelerate them. Now I want to talk about something that trips up more early retirees than almost anything else, and it catches people completely off guard. Medicare doesn't start until age 65. So if you plan to retire at 60, 61, 62, or any age before 65, you need to figure out how you're going to cover your health insurance in that gap. A lot of people don't think about this until it's too late, and then they get the bill, and it's a shock. Your main options are COBRA, which lets you continue your employer's coverage, or plans through the Affordable Care Act marketplace. Both can work, but both have real costs. COBRA can be especially expensive because you're now paying the full premium your employer used to split with you. The bottom line: if early retirement is part of your plan, healthcare costs need to be in your budget long before you retire. Don't let this one catch you off guard. Here's an action item I want every person watching this video to complete this week. It's free, it takes 10 minutes, and it could shape a major financial decision. Go to ssa.gov and pull your Social Security statement. It shows you your full earnings history, which determines your benefit, along with estimated monthly payments at different ages. Why does this matter at 59 and a half? Because the decision of when to start claiming Social Security is one of the most consequential financial decisions you'll make in retirement. And you need to understand your numbers before you can make that decision wisely. Here's the core trade-off. You can claim as early as 62, but your monthly benefit will be permanently reduced. You can wait until 70, and your benefit increases every year you delay. The question is, which gives you more money over your lifetime? That calculation depends on your health, your other income sources, your spouse's situation, and a lot of other factors. But you can't even start doing that math until you know what your benefit actually is. Pull your statement, know your number. The decision can wait, but the research shouldn't. I mentioned required minimum distributions a couple of times already. Let me explain exactly what they are and why they matter so much to your planning right now. An RMD is the amount the IRS requires you to withdraw from your traditional retirement accounts each year once you reach a certain age. Under current law, that age is 73 for most people watching this video. If you were born in 1960 or later, that age is scheduled to move to 75, but that change doesn't take effect until 2033. Here's the problem. If you've spent decades faithfully saving in your 401k and traditional IRA, you may have built up a very large balance. When RMDs kick in, you could be forced to take withdrawals that push you into a higher tax bracket, whether you need the money or not. That's why the Roth conversion strategy we talked about earlier is so valuable. The more you convert now at lower tax rates, the smaller your future RMD burden. Now, one more thing. Because 59 and a half removes the early withdrawal penalty, it also gives you the option to use retirement funds to pay off high-interest debt. Credit cards at 20% or more are essentially draining your retirement savings. Paying those off with penalty-free funds can be a smart move. The caution? Don't pay off that debt and then rebuild it. That defeats the whole purpose. This next one is less glamorous than the others, but it's one of the most practical things you can do in this window, and most people never do it. Most people who've worked for several employers over the years have retirement accounts scattered all over the place. An old 401k from a job you left 10 years ago, an IRA you opened and forgot about. 59 and a half is a natural checkpoint to consolidate. Roll those old accounts into one or two central places. You'll have a clearer picture of your total balance, it's easier to manage, and you're less likely to lose track of money that's rightfully yours. While you're at it, rebalance. As you approach retirement, your investment mix should shift to reflect your actual risk tolerance. The portfolio that made sense at 45 may be too aggressive at 60. Take a look at where you're invested and make sure it still fits where you're headed. Let me finish with two warnings. These are the mistakes I see most often, and they're completely avoidable. First, the tax bomb. Just because you can withdraw from your retirement accounts doesn't mean you should withdraw everything at once. Large withdrawals can spike you into a higher tax bracket and trigger taxes on your Social Security benefits. Be strategic. Spread withdrawals thoughtfully across years, and work with a tax professional if you can. Second, check your beneficiaries. I know it sounds like a small administrative task, but it's not. Your retirement account beneficiary designations override your will completely. If your account says your ex spouse gets the money, that's where it goes, no matter what your will says. Check every account, update every beneficiary. Do it this week. So let me bring this all together. 59 and a half isn't just a number, it's a window. And what you do in the years leading up to it and the years right after will shape the quality and the security of your entire retirement. Penalty-free access to your accounts, Roth conversion opportunities, catch-up contributions, healthcare planning, Social Security strategy, RMD management, portfolio cleanup. These aren't things to figure out the day you retire. They're things to start planning now. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing in this video should be taken as personal financial advice. But I do believe that an informed retiree is a more confident retiree. So take what you've learned here and bring it into a conversation with a qualified professional who can apply it to your specific situation. If this video was helpful, please hit the like button. It helps more people find this channel. And if you're not subscribed yet, join us. Every week I'm here walking through the retirement topics that actually matter in plain language so you can make confident decisions about your future. I'm Sandy, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.